and says Toffee Brand coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is, and when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old Electoral treatment.
Went from loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're going to give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm going to let you keep your hand.
Good day, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right. How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm happy to be here. I kind of missed y'all a little bit.
Well, that's what happens when you don't show up for work.
That's when you have a social life and, have to go to friends' parties, etc. Crazy lady.
How lame is that?
Yeah, I have to, quick Mrs. Quartering update. She has shifted her baking day today and is making Italian cookies today. So
Italian cookies, yummy.
Yeah.
It was either her grandmother or your grandmother teaching her how to make cannolis, right?
Hers, yeah.
So is it
love
cannolis like Italian heritage?
Yeah, Italian cookies are good, and they're not like you just get a little orange zest in the icing. They're very, very good. So I hope to be delivered fresh Italian cookies during the stream today.
All right.
Live review.
Yeah, well, they're going to be a 10 out of 10. Obviously, that's there is no reviewing. Hannah Claire, I sent you the pants that Ruby's wearing today on Signal. I hope you'll enjoy those.
Pants.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. His dog is experiencing her time of the month or year, I guess, if you're a dog. And she wears themed pants. That's so cute. I asked you if you dressed your dogs up for Halloween, and you said no, but I guess coincidentally she has appropriately holiday themed sanitary items. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, they wear bandanas that have Halloween stuff on them, but they won't really dress up. You'll get the world will get at least one picture. Team. Yeah, the world will get a picture of their Halloween themed bandanas here, closer to the actual holiday.
Okay.
Lots of news going on. We've got Pete Hegseth delivering a pretty blistering speech about fatties in the military.
I thought Melanie wrote that speech.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that was Melanie. Then last night, Donald Trump, I'll start with this because it's pretty funny. The memer in chief is back. And he shared this meme of Hakeem Jeffries. And of course, Hakeem Jeffries went on MSNBC afterwards and had a total Menti B. Yeah, he was big mad over this, and I don't care because when I saw this, I was like, "That's my president." So not only did Trump, which by the way, that's 300,000 likes. That's no small feat. I guess he is the president, but he shared this.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know? At least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
I was listening to NBC talk about this morning. They're like, he shared an AI generated video. Like Trump is like the worst person. Also, like he was trying to trick someone to believing that was what was actually said. If Hakeem Jeffries went out there in a sombrero, I would have died. That would have been so funny.
Yeah, I thought like, again, like this is when Trump's at his best because now they're going to be like spurging out about this for the next week. Hakeem Jeffries goes on MSNBC last Tuesday and says, it's disgusting.
Could you give us your reaction to that Trump posted video tonight?
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face
that wasn't even bigotry. And he looks just like handsome Squidward, does he not?
Yeah, he does. He does look a little bit like handsome Squidward.
Like our resident bigotry expert, Melanie Mack. That wasn't even bigotry.
Yeah, come on. I know bigotry as the resident bigot here.
Yeah. And by the way, like, there's nobody in the replies here saying like, oh, this is, I didn't know he didn't know this. They even tried to community note it and said, this is clearly satire and a joke. Chuck Schumer is not this factual and articulate in real life. Like, I mean, of course this will get community noted eventually, but literally nobody thought this was real. I mean, come on. He's got like a cartoon mustache and a hat. Like, obviously this is not real.
Right.
But you know what's funny? I was listening to there's a polling podcast called 538, and I was listening to an older episode talking about the fact that Democrats like have basically turned away all their voters and they're having kind of a crisis. Like, even though it's a parody, what they're touching on is actually real. And it's kind of ironic that they're like, it's all fake news. Everything they're saying is wrong. They can't even respond to it properly. All they can like say is whoever created this and shared it is racist. They are out of touch. They are as out of touch as you think they are.
Yeah, I mean,
they've already played that every time that card way too many times. It's declining now. That everything you say something I don't like, you're racist. Oh, you say something I don't like, you're a bigot. Well, that's overplayed. Doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, nobody really gives a shit anymore now. Like, you have the people that are like, yeah, whatever. But you also have a growing contingent of people that are just saying, so what?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I love the so whaters. I think it's kind of funny.
You can't say that's racist. Okay. So what? Like,
exactly.
What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to cry?
Do you think we'll get to the point where people are like someone's like, you're racist, and then the other person responds, thank you. Like, they're happy about it.
Yes, I am. Now what?
So true. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, I've been trying. Here's Pete Hegseth this morning. Something is going on in the Trump administration where like everyone's like, oh my God, Pete Hegseth called all these generals together, imminent war with Iran. Well, actually, he just wanted to see these people, and then he unleashed this speech this morning.
With physical fitness and appearance.
Oh, why is that audio the worst?
Oh, it's buzzing.
Come on, Fox News.
Yeah, maybe it was actually maybe it's in the source.
I think it's during the recording. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
If the Secretary of War can do regular hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations or really any formation and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
Correct.
And leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And
that's going to mean like
love it.
A third of the generals are going to be out. Like we're talking about a lot of, it's the same thing with cops. Like every time I see a cop that looks like me, I'm like, I'm on my own.
Oh, no. You're like, I'm not safe here.
Yeah. Or a fireman. I'm like, oh my God. Like I have to come up with a plan that to save my own life during a fire because you will never be able to drag me out. Like, there's no way.
As the chairman said.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying one of the biggest obstacles to military recruiting right now is that young people do not reach either the health or fitness standard. And so I like the top-down approach here from like, we can't expect something from the people we're recruiting if we ourselves do not hold ourselves to the standard at the highest level. It's a little bit of you have to walk the walk, which fine, fair. Like we spend a lot of money on the military. I think it's fair if we require them to meet a certain fitness level.
Well, it's how you garner respect too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see like Hegseth in there. I don't know what that particular PT test is that him and RFK did, but it's like, hey, I'm going to ask you to do it, so I have to do it too. Now, look, I'll make an exception for an 80-year-old 4-star jet. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's appropriate to, like, I could be wrong here, but like age is a factor in the levels they're supposed to meet, right? Yeah, and if it's you're active duty or not active duty, that kind of stuff. Like when we had that, remember that like fat trans like director of health that we had?
Yeah.
It was like, this is the problem. Like, this is our role model. Like RFK, yeah, I'm pretty sure he does roids, but like, I want a guy that can do pull-ups in charge of the health and human services. I want a guy who can do push-ups, or a girl who can do push-ups and can run a mile in under 10 minutes. Like, I don't really take you seriously when you're talking about what's healthy if you are, pre-diabetic.
Yep.
He also had this little zinger, which I thought was pretty good. I think
there was a lot of panic over this meeting too, just while you're finding that.
That's what I mean. They're like, oh, we're going to war. It's like, no.
We're going to war. And then when he called everybody, like mainstream outlets were like, they never do this. It's a big deal. You know who does stuff like this? China. Like it just got out of hand. And meanwhile, like, I guess maybe there was a different announcement and they like sidetracked it. Now he's like, okay, I'm gonna use this opportunity to talk about weight. But if it really was the whole time he's assembling the gang to be like, everyone get on a diet and work out, that's kind of hilarious.
Well, isn't that what you would do? Like, I liken Pete Hegseth taking this position to basically like, you're a new CEO installed at a company. Why the frick wouldn't you be meeting with all of your employees?
Right.
Like, people are like, this is crazy. This has never happened before. I'm like, no. It happens all the time in business. When I used to work at a calendar company. We got acquired by a bigger calendar company. The first thing that happened is the new CEO came in and met with everybody personally and as a group. Like, that's how you figure out, who can stay and who can go. This is how you figure out, who the people are. You got to understand what the hell they do day to day. See, Pete Hegseth is not involved in the day to day of a lot of these people. So you have to meet with them. This is like a totally normal thing. And then he also says this.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit.
God.
Yeah.
He takes that Secretary of War.
We are so back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took away, they announced, I think last week that they were ending the like Women in Combat Advisory Board. Like,
right.
He's really serious about this.
Good.
Yeah, I'm for it. Like, our military, if you take away the technological advantages that the United States have, which is why we are a quote unquote, such a dominant military, it's not because of you look at the Chinese military and they're all in peak physical condition.
Yep.
Like, that's just the way it is. There were those propaganda videos that China was putting out and they were like, this is the American soldiers. And they're like, this is the Chinese soldiers. This is who we have to go to war against. And it's like, okay, well, our technology compared to Chinese technology probably isn't that far superior anymore. If it ever, heaven forbid, we have to rely on physical, boots on the ground.
Combat, yeah.
I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I know a lot of guys in the National Guard that look just like me. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, and they still have to go, is it once a year or twice a year? They have to go and do like something when you're active duty in the National Guard. Like, a friend of mine was probably 100 pounds overweight, smoked cigarettes. And I was like, dude, like, how do you pass your whatever? But like, I guess they must all like, you know, you get healthy for the month before you got to go in. I think you have some sort of advanced notice. I'm not, look, he's still a better man than me for being in the National Guard and being active duty. But I would be lying if I didn't say like, what the, you know, like, how are you passing PT? Like you're gigantic. Like, this is crazy.
Look at some of the recruitment videos and advertisements and stuff coming out of the U.S. military, if you look at specifically like that drag queen that the Navy was using to represent the gay pride stuff that the military was using and promoting, it's made an embarrassment of America. And that's the thing is that America, we need to take pride in our country and in our strength as a country. And we look weak when we are promoting all of this gay stuff and fat stuff.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that ever had to become the priority. Like, especially if you're the military, we should be like, we have the strongest, fittest, healthiest soldiers. And if it's all falling apart, then you need to look not only at recruitment standards, but the lifestyle in the military and frankly, the VA as well. Like the support that's offered to them as they become fit, healthy, and recover from injury. Like the fact that the thing we all think about when we think about the advertisements for our own military over the last couple of years, all have to do with identity politics is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely suboptimal. It's not what you want. And I think if you ask like a normie like me in terms of military, like close your eyes and think about the military, or like our government, like I think of that like Rachel Levine or that fuckwad General Miley who talked about white rage. And it's like, was it Miley? I think it was Miley. And like DEI. I want to go back to like chicks in bikinis, jet skis jumping off ramps with explosions behind them, helicopters dropping off cash, like chugging beer. Like those are the military commercials I want to see, not the Corporal Dingle Dongle was the first trans biracial soldier in the U.S. military and blah blah blah. Like those are the commercials that I remember from, you know, the Biden era with our military. And it's like, no. How about no? How about blow shit up?
Yeah, there was one Biden era one that was like, I think it was a Navy commercial, and they're like talking about how the female Navy member had 2 moms and was like growing up in California.
Yes, I remember.
Like, why is this relevant? Like, a whole other conversation about women in the military.
Well,
they got her.
Yep.
And that's the thing is enlistment at an all-time low when they pushed all this gay stuff, this feminist stuff, this, that. But when you actually look at what makes strong men want to join the military, that is things like Top Gun. Look at what Top Gun's impact had. Like that had people wanting to join the military. You even look at one of like the top comments I saw on a Battlefield 6 trailer, where you just see all these tanks blowing up, and people are like, whoa, I'm ready to join the military.
Yeah,
like they want to see stuff blowing up. They want to see testosterone. They want to see some tough guys. And that's how you're going to encourage people to want to join the military, not all this gay stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, honestly, for even like the people I knew who weren't particularly patriotic, who weren't like feeling a call to service, which is why a lot of people go into the military. It was just like economic benefits, right? Like the GI Bill, what kind of health insurance, things like that. Why are you pushing DEI and like whatever LGBTQ acceptance in the military? If you're hurting for numbers that badly, all of your commercials should be like, I was able to buy a house because I served in the military. I was able to do this. Like, I'm not saying that's the best reason to join. I just know pragmatically, I remember, especially when I was like getting ready to apply to college and stuff. How
every one of my
I
friends joined because of the GI Bill.
Yeah.
Everybody I knew that joined was like, I'm going to go do my time in the military and I'm going to get free college. And that's why they joined. And some of them turned it into careers and some of them got out and immediately went to college and had it paid for, you know. And Front Toward Enemy says, the military should focus on strength and endurance training. It will significantly reduce the number of joint and muscle injuries. Plus, in shape people can lose more blood without dying. Fun fact. Over on Rumble, Pac-Man says, good afternoon, Jeremy, Melanie, Hannah, Claire. What do you think about the Antifa goon being painted by a sniper in Portland last night? I mean, I wish he would have taken the shot, but that's what I'm sure it was a non-lethal round, but yeah, I mean, there was a guy that was following journalists around. He was like, "I'll smoke you, fool." And then there was a green laser. I don't know that it was actually from a sniper rifle because I don't know that they use green. Somebody in chat would have to correct me. It could have just been like a target, like a laser, like, hey, go look what's going on down here. You see a laser.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, these lunatics have been running. I mean, the crazy thing is when we talk about Antifa, okay, I'm going to go a little, I'm in my fascist arc right now. We're talking about like 300 people nationwide that you could just lock up and all this shit would go away.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, we're talking about 300 people between Portland, Portland, Seattle, San Francisco. You just lock them up and all this shit goes away. All of it. We're not even talking about a 1,000% of the population. That's all I'm saying. You put them on a boat, send them to Ecuador. Where are we paying for that prison? You send them there.
El Salvador, right?
Yeah, El Salvador. Like, I'm in my authoritarian arc. I was in my dark Jeremy arc, but now I'm in my fascist authoritarian arc.
Got it. Okay.
And I'm just like, I'm also in favor of a federal 3 strikes, life in prison without possibility of a parole law. I covered this poor girl who was executed by a black man who had been arrested 35 times and had 25 felonies. He broke into her house and blew her brains out to steal her debit card so he could get $100 out of an ATM.
Oh my goodness.
I just don't think the everyday human in private, let's say you're in a voting booth, presidential candidate Hambly is running and he says, you know what? We're going to have a national 3 strikes law. If you have 3 or more violent offenses, it's life in prison without the possibility of parole. I don't think I'm losing votes over that. I think people are sick and tired of living in fear, getting, seeing, oh, this guy was in and out of jail. I mean, the guy that killed Irina or whatever, he was in and out of prison 15 times. Like,
Yeah.
she'd still be alive today if we had that policy. And also, by the way, I think having that policy would drastically reduce crime, but just having its existence.
Having more to risk, right?
Yeah, like there would be a lot of people that are on their second strike that'd be like, I can't fuck around. Like, I'm not going to prison for life. The 3 strike rule worked when it was only 20 years. Like, make it life. I'm yet to hear, 3 or more separate violent incidences, life in prison. Like, that's, I don't know. You could argue, well, then the government's going to charge people like they did with J6. I don't know. But I don't know. Swimmeroo says, as a fat man, I approve and applaud of Secretary Hegseth's message. Look, I'm not in the military. If I was this big in the military, people would be like, what the hell are you doing? Like, we see a lot of these National Guardsmen and they're gigantic. And it's like, bro, like, what are you even going to do? Like, no more R-tard bundle of sticks words, Pete Hegseth. Yeah, that's good to see. Vadino says, it's not weird to feel weird going back to church after a while. At first, as a former lapsed Christian, I felt the same, but now I feel so much happier and free since I was giving my life to Christ. God bless. Hey, good for you. Chessmaster says, just talked to a buddy of mine who signed up for the Navy. He failed the PT test and had to try again in November. He's not in bad shape at all, just not up to standards. Standards are finally back. And if he wants it, then he'll get in shape. That's a good thing.
I would assume some of it too is for your own safety or for the safety of the other people that you're in a platoon with or whatever. I remember at one point the Navy SEALs had some issues with like steroid use and their fitness tests because it's just like to be a Navy SEAL, it's incredibly competitive.
Yeah. People are dying.
I remember like off the record talking to someone who had been through the Navy SEAL trial and been like, look, if I am going to make this, I want to be the best shape possible. I want to exceed whatever fitness standard, because not only does my life depend on it, but I want everyone else in the boat to know that I can meet them and like do what needs to be done all together. Like, it's not just like an aesthetic thing. In some ways, like I get Pete Hegseth being like, this makes us look bad. And I agree. But also like, if you're going to be in a combat position, your physical fitness could save your life. And I think that we
or could cost somebody else's.
Right.
You become a liability. Our sergeant said, yes, green is typically used on rifles as it pops out better in the dark. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm for it. I'm 100% for it. Like, enough is enough with letting these terrorists like hold entire communities. It's like the homeless thing. I forget what city that was in, where like it was in Portland or Seattle or something, and somebody got arrested for turning their sprinklers on because there was a fucking homeless encampment on their front yard. And they're like, I can't sell my house because everyone that comes here is like, what the fuck? Why do you have homeless people living in your front yard? Right. And it's like, why? Like the 99% are living at the behest and in peril to the 1%, you know.
You aren't even living that well. Like, it's not like when you're like, okay, homeless people set up an encampment here. You are, you know, ensuring that they live healthy, clean, productive lives. Like, you're just sort of allowing them to create communities that are usually filled with drug abuse and mental illness and all kinds of other issues.
Yeah, it's not, I just don't have a lot of time for it anymore. I have been radicalized. You can hate me if you want, but like literally I'm like that guy from, was it Parks and Recs, where he's like straight to jail, like whatever happens, straight to prison. Like, it'd be great. By the way, I do want to give a shout out to the sponsor of the stream, Crypto.com. Let's be clear, cryptocurrency is no longer emerging, it's here. And the latest move cements that reality in a big way. Trump Media just inked a $6.4 billion deal, massive one, with Yorkville Acquisition Corp and Crypto.com, the crypto platform trusted by millions of users worldwide. They're teaming up to scoop up the $6.4 billion in CRO, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi staking rewards and real-world perks like cashback on your spending to establish America's first CRO treasury, Trump Media Group CRO strategy. When it's done, the new company will be the biggest publicly traded CRO holder out there. Want in on the action? Head to Crypto.com today and let's make crypto great again. For more information on the proposed business combination, check out Yorkville Acquisition Corp's public filings. You can also find a link in the description. And also a massive shout out to, speaking of getting healthy, Field of Greens. I knew we all have our ages, our actual age and our body's internal biological age. What I did know is I've likely lowered my biological age even without knowing. Here's the thing, because Americans eat so many processed foods, not enough fruits and veggies, many, perhaps most, are 10 years plus older than on the inside than their actual age. They're ticking time bombs. A major university study suggests how to slow aging and diffuse biological time bomb. Participants slowed their aging by drinking Field of Greens. That's all. They didn't change their eating, drinking, or exercise, just Field of Greens. By the way, Field of Greens is something I really, really love. For me, it's just something that it's like, I get my fruits and veggies in easily. That way I don't have to worry about getting them in throughout the day. Each fruit and vegetable in Field of Greens was doctor selected for specific health benefits, cell health, heart, lungs, kidney, metabolism, and even healthy weight. I know people feel great knowing Field of Greens can slow how quickly they're aging. And I encourage you to join me and many others. Swap your untested fruit, vegetable, or green drink for Field of Greens while there's time. There's also a link in the description. Check out the university study and get 20% off when you use promo code TheQuartering at fieldofgreens.com. That's fieldofgreens.com, promo code TheQuartering. By the way, I don't know if we wanted to, I forgot we needed to do a proof of life check with Melanie. A massive amount more shrimp have been recalled.
Oh!
And there was a listeria breakout that has killed 5 people and an unborn fetus in a woman's belly and hospitalized 20 more in frozen meals found at Walmart. Frozen linguine with now I know you're probably not getting the linguine.
Yeah,
so
I've not been getting any frozen linguinis, but you know what? I don't think I've gotten any shrimp since that last radioactive shrimp Thank
we shamed you and saved your life?
Yeah, you guys shamed me and it saved my life. I've not gotten any more since. So I'm good.
Well, also, that same company that ships that shrimp had hundreds of thousands of pounds of spices recalled. Also radioactive isotopes
spices?
How does that happen? This is insane. Like with shrimp, it's like, okay, maybe some sludge spilled in the ocean.
Yeah.
But how does this happen with all of it? Like, is all of their tools contaminated? What is going on?
I'm not sure.
Imagine being like, I'm gonna make a little chicken, but at first I'll sprinkle some radioactive paprika on it. Like,
you know what's funny? It's not really funny. They are the #1 provider of cloves and something else in America.
Cloves right before the holiday season? Are you kidding me?
Yes. Make sure you check your spices. It's the brand called was that some troon doing AIDS
That's what it looked like, a troon.
Yeah.
You guys are getting distracted. We need to know where the cloves come from. We'll talk about the troons later.
Yeah, radioactive spices. It's the same. It's like the same distributor that does the shrimp. It was called like Jade. Hold on a second. Yeah, here, common spice found contaminated with radiation. Yeah, these are cloves, and it's all people from spice products from the firm PT Natural Java Spice. Natural, all right. Have been added to the. It's hundreds of thousands of pounds were detected in the ports that were contaminated with cesium-137.
Are they American ports or are they in a different country?
These were from Indonesia, the same place that the shrimp came from. But the listeria outbreak, which is in foods at Trader Joe's, Meijer, and Walmart, is from a New Jersey company. So that was cesium. Where's Southwind Foods have these recalls, Kroger. Make sure you check your I had a better article that actually showed pictures of it yesterday. I don't know why. Let's see. FDA finds radioactive contaminant. Yeah, popular fall spice. Yeah. They are 85,000 bags, by the way, of shrimp just recalled again on September 25th. So frozen shrimp, people, don't be buying frozen shrimp. You shouldn't be buying frozen shrimp anyway.
I love frozen shrimp.
No, you don't.
Big budget Jeremy
You're
over
being
here.
lazy. It's not even expensive to buy fresh shrimp, all right? Buy the fresh shrimp.
Wow.
And and then you get like real shrimp. When you get the frozen shrimp, they're like little, they look like shrimp wangs. When I buy like regular shrimp, I'm like, that's the wang of the shrimp that I bought. Like when you buy fresh shrimp, it's like giant. You only need like 4 or 5 of them. Shrimp is always frozen. Not true. I buy my shrimp unfrozen all the time. So I don't know. Maybe it's frozen for transport. That would make sense. And then it's thawed out I'm talking about like in the freezer section. By the way, like seafood is the one thing. Also, fun fact, ribeye steak went up $7 a pound where I live in just the last week.
Oh my!
I bought a steak last night, and I was like talking to the butcher, and I was like, I know you don't set the prices, but what the fuck, dude? He's like, I know. He's like, last week it was. I said last week I was complaining that it was $25 a pound. Last night it was $32.99 a pound for USDA Prime ribeye. So my steak, which was a small steak, was like $43.
That is so wild.
Yeah,
my goodness.
I
remember when I first
couldn't even afford to do that.
Yeah, when I first started carnivore, you could get a ribeye steak for like $9 a pound or something like that.
Now I'm guessing, are you buying frozen ribeye from Indonesia though, or were you buying it from the deli?
She only likes radioactive ribeye.
Yeah.
No,
Was
I'm
it
just
glowing?
saying the price has gone up a lot since. But I started carnivore a long time ago, like 6 years ago.
Yeah,
There's like very few, like we don't have as much cattle.
We have a cattle shortage.
Like,
yeah. And then
why do we have a cattle shortage? Are the cattle farmers just having a hard time, or is the government being like, actually, you have to kill all of the cattle for various health-related reasons?
Well, this also happened a month ago. It might be related. 20 tons or 40,000 pounds, specifically of ribeye steaks, total loss as the facility goes up in flames.
Oh my god,
that's a lot of
My
steaks.
goodness,
40,000.
And like, how did that? I don't know. I can't help but wonder with conspiracies and stuff, because you've had all of this stuff happen to agriculture. You've had all of these chicken farms.
Yes, the cullings that are
getting
going
burned
on
down, and all of this. Oh, now all of a sudden these farmers are having cows drop dead for no reason, seemingly. Something is going on here.
Well, just buy the bug meat already, Melanie. Somebody super chatted.
Melanie, which would you rather eat? Radioactive ribeye or bug meat?
The only bug meat I like is shrimp. If it's sea bugs, I'll eat that, but not otherwise.
Yeah, I'd rather eat radioactive shrimp, I think. As long as I knew like the ppms. If it's like, hey, if you eat this every day, you're gonna have some, superpowers, but it's okay to eat once a month, I would risk it with the steak over the radioactive shrimp.
Just a tiny dose. I mean, you get a little bit of radiation from flying across the country, right?
Right.
So...
You get MRIs, So, Deadly Bob says on Rumble, they super chat at $5 said, "Here, Mel, get some fresh shrimp." Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Melanie Shrimp Fund.
Yeah. No, Melanie has no excuse to be that cheap. I know what I pay her. Plus, she has her other channels. She can afford real shrimp.
She's
just a financial manager.
I'm very cheap.
Yeah, she is cheap.
I spend like $40 a week on my groceries.
You're cheap with that, but how much was that? How much was that Godzilla statue that I bought with articulating tail and multiple heads?
Yeah, see, that's how I balance my budget.
Yeah. I have a feeling that was not cheap. Skyline says, "Don't be such a Walmart eater. Shrimp is not the only seafood. Calamari, shrimp, octopus, crabs, seaweed, and all sorts of fish. Expand your menu." I do like seaweed. I have seaweed often.
Good.
Yeah, it's good for you. Lots of our beef comes from Mexico and is quarantined because of screwworm. Yes, I saw that in the tweet too. There's some screwworm stuff too. But Trump needs to get on that. All right, like gas prices have started to resettle. Eggs are good. Chicken's coming back down. Like, let Americans make beef prices affordable again, please. Like, I checked out. And I was like, this is bonkers. It was like $42. And I picked the smallest steak because I already saw it was $32.99 a pound. I was like, well, I'll get the smallest one. Then they had like these double cut ones. I don't know who buys those. I'm like, how much is that? And he's like, they're over 100. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Lone Wolf says,
you need somebody to give us like a Costco update. You know how they sell like huge packs of steak or all kinds of like big like, bulk steak? Like, those must be like $1,000.
Well, people
just,
tell
like,
me,
give them your firstborn child.
People tell me to buy, what is it that you buy and then you just cut it up to make your own steaks? It's like a round or a roll or something like that. I forget. People tell me.
I need a butcher to verify, to be honest.
You know what's crazy is Rumble sent me some sort of sponsor that sells ground beef, and just a huge box of steaks showed up at my door the other week. And I was like, well, first of all, my wife's like, what do you want to do with these? I'm like, throw them out. Like, I don't know where they're from. I don't know. I'm not eating mystery meat. You know what I mean? Like, but then I looked them up and they're like a real company. And then I asked Rumble, I'm like, did you send this to me? Because like, I'm not eating this. And they did say they sent it. So I have.
Oh no. So it's probably totally fine to eat.
I didn't throw it out. I didn't end up throwing it out. Like I put it in the freezer and then I was like, I said, I'm going to throw it in the dog food freezer. And then like, we'll see. And then it's a real sponsor from a real company that looks legit. So I was like, okay. I'll just, now I'm good on meat for a little while. Lone Wolf says, potassium iodide fund for Melanie to take before eating a radioactive shrimp.
Yay!
Yeah, all right. Melanie can live again. I have this other topic I wanted to talk about I thought was kind of funny. J.K. Rowling, who is famously a leftist, but is only like
not left enough. She's
only based on the trans issue. Everything else, she's your prototypical leftoid. We need more migrants, but not in my $30 million mansion and all this kind of stuff. She absolutely unloaded on Emma Watson. So Emma Watson is a raging feminist who has made headlines essentially disparaging J.K. Rowling for years, calling her a transphobe and all this kind of stuff. And now she's like, well, I still treasure. She probably wants to be part of whatever's going on. It's not like Emma Watson's had a lot of roles.
And she backtracked because also it's before when she was saying everything she was and throwing Rowling under the bus, it was the popular thing to do was to be pro-trans. Well, oh, wait a minute. People are getting sick and tired of the trans stuff. They're getting trans fatigue. So now, oh, actually, I'm just going to love everyone, even if they think different than me. Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. And so basically, J.K. Rowling in a very long tweet said, basically, I don't give a shit about you or Dan, because her and Daniel Radcliffe have been like taking shots at J.K. Rowling
for a long time.
Yeah. She wrote, they both in particular have made it clear over the years that they think our former professional association gives them some sort of particular right, nay, obligation to critique me and my views in public. Years after they finish acting in Potter, they continue to assume the role of de facto spokespeople for the world I created. That's based and true.
Yeah.
Yep, that is true.
And like, you know, I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. They were. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. I therefore understand from my own life experience that she's trashing women's rights, in which Emma has so enthusiastically participated, means to women and girls without her level of privilege. I mean, absolutely crushed her. You know, she says, I'm not owed an eternal agreement from any actor who once played a character I created. The idea is ludicrous as me checking with the boss I had when I was 21 for opinions that I hold these days. Emma Watson and her co-stars have every right to embrace gender identity ideology. Such beliefs are legally protected, and I wouldn't want any of them to see threatened with loss of work, violence, or death because of them. However, basically, like, they're bitches.
Well, she has a line in there. You probably read it when I cut out, but where she says, like, even when I was getting all kinds of threats, when things were crazy, Emma continued to pour
She
petrol.
never said shit. Yes.
Right. She actually made it worse. Like, she continued to comment and like drive, you know, some of this commentary and negativity towards me. I think J.K. Rowling's been incredibly restrained over the years. And you know, I met someone recently, like a young, like 21-year-old who was like, oh yeah, I try to pretend like J.K. Rowling's not problematic. And to me, J.K. Rowling was problematic when she declared that Dumbledore was gay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It was not the offense I care about at all. And it is interesting that she's had to like hold her tongue while these young co-stars like bash her. And also she got like disinvited from Harry Potter related events. Like she did this
her own product.
All careers. And what does she get in return? To be just like dragged through the mud whenever they feel like it's socially acceptable?
Well, when they want a headline, you know, when they have some project coming up. By the way, name one project either one of them have been in since Harry Potter. I mean, I guess Little Women, I think Emma Watson was in.
Like, was on Broadway. He's done a fair amount of stuff, but like, again, if you feel you need to say something one time, fine. But like, don't do it constantly. It just seems crazy to me.
Well, that's the thing is it's just so disrespectful. And like J.K. Rowling said, they don't owe her anything and all of that. But there's a difference between having separate opinions than what she has versus throwing her under the bus. I mean, that's just messed up. It's an outright betrayal, trying to ruin her reputation over some disagreements with that. And here's the thing is a lot of people are waking up to just how terrible the transgender ideology stuff is and how it's very harmful to women in particular. So then you have these people like Emma Watson claiming to be some feminist and this and that. And a lot of people in this feminist ideology who are really fighting for these deranged men who just wear makeup and want to take over women's spaces. So it's just the hypocrisy of it all that's absurd. And they're actually hurting women. So now a lot of people are seeing that. And now that's being exposed. Now Emma Watson wants to backtrack and try to be all nice now. Oh, but I still love her anyway. Where was this energy before?
Yeah, when she's getting threatened. I have a video coming out later about the podcast because it was like a 2.5-hour interview on like a wellness podcast that Emma Watson was on where these like remarks originated. And it's just one of these like child star. It's not like she's a deranged crazy person, but there is a lot of like desperation for validation. And you said this at the top, like the opinion on the transgender ideology movement has changed, and it seems coincidentally like she has changed some of her positions as well. People have the right to change their opinions over time, but I do think it like this, like, oh well, I'll just like love her anyways. Like, no, you owe J.K. Rowling an apology.
Huge apology.
If you really were going to take accountability.
That's true.
Well, I think ultimately the human thing to do for Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson, who would have no career if not for J.K. Rowling, is simply to have said, hey, we don't agree on this, on this topic, and, that's that. But that's not what they did. They would actively disparage her. And at a time when she really was getting death threats, when people were showing up at her house, like, they were actively fueling that fire. And as Hannah Clark said, they do owe her an apology.
Yep.
They don't have to agree with her. But like a normal person would have said, yeah, we don't agree on this issue, but like, I think we can all agree like death threats and stuff is too far. That they chose not to do that for a very specific reason. The same way that many on the left, like Gavin Newsom, he keeps tweeting out, President Trump's a fascist. And then they're like, and then he's like, hey, do something. He's poking Antifa with a stick, all this kind of crap. Like they knew exactly what they were doing.
Tweeted him for one of those being like, way to turn down the rhetoric, Gavin Newsom.
Right. Exactly. Like these people, they didn't want to turn down the temperature. They never wanted to turn down the temperature, and their actions prove it. Now, and by the way, they should apologize publicly because they disparaged her publicly.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
And all they would have to say is like, hey, look, I apologize to Benny for being too hard on him and memeing on him a little too hard. And I also apologize privately, but I did so publicly because it's like when you do it publicly, you apologize. It's like, all you have to say is like, yeah, I still don't agree with her, but I wish I would have done a better job, helping to, make sure people weren't attacking her or going,
right.
All that kind of stuff. But they won't do that because they want something bad to happen to her, in my opinion. People like them often do.
Which is so horrible, like, again, you could disagree with someone, but if you are in any ways trying to seem sympathetic to her having any kind of physical threat, like that's gross and sick.
Yeah. If your side won't like the fact that you don't want someone killed, then you're on the wrong side.
Right. And again, I'm going to put a video out about this podcast because there's some other interesting remarks that Emma Watson made, but she talked about how the Harry Potter cast was really like a family and it impacted the way she viewed acting and all kinds of stuff. But like, I assume that includes J.K. Rowling. Like she was on set, from what I know, she was involved in the production.
She's basically their mom,
I mean, she's at least someone who was involved in their life pretty deeply. Like I don't know. It just seems like that horrible trend of ostracizing family members who you think are in the wrong.
By the way, I want to give you both a chance. We'll go to Melanie first. Let the people know where they can find you and find your content.
All right, you guys can find me at Bible Time with Melanie Mack, where I've got Bible verse of the day every day on Shorts, and then I have different Bible-based topics. Commentary type stuff there as well. And then I have my gaming streams at Melanie Mack on YouTube, or if you just search Melanie Mack Gaming Streams. Right now I've been playing Silent Hill F and getting really scared. It's been a good time.
Yeah, nice.
You can find my work on Rumble and YouTube, Hannah Claire B in both places. Like I said, I'll have a video out talking specifically about Emma Watson later today. And I do some other news, cultural commentary stuff like that. I'm also Hannah Claire B on X. So you can find me on Rumble, on YouTube, and on X, Hannah Claire B in all places. Thanks to everyone who already checked out my work. Jeremy, what are you going to tell us about today?
Well, just if wherever you're watching, please stay watching, stay subscribed. That's all. We're live Monday through Thursday at 2 Eastern, so hopefully you'll tune in. And Fridays at 1 Eastern. By the way, shout out to JJ for the super chat over on YouTube. KJ Dor says, growing up is realizing that Voldemort and Malfoy senior actors are better people than the main characters.
I don't know about that, team, but
yeah, I think Voldemort. Maybe he's talking about the real people in real life.
I think he's talking about the actors, yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't know them I don't know anything about them. I do know that the guy that played Voldemort, he's the guy that starred in The Menu, I think, and that was one of my favorite new movies I've seen in a really long time. Did you watch Bring Her Back yet, Melanie?
No.
Did I not recommend?
That?
Oh my God. I recommended it, but I think on Twitter.
Oh, see,
you did.
Sadly, I miss a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, this was.
I don't post
We
it
need a
anymore.
printed syllabus. That's the thing.
We do.
This is one of the best new movies I've seen in a very long time.
Really?
Like slow burn thriller. Here. It's on. You can stream it. It's on like Amazon or something.
Okay. It's not showing on the screen. If
Oh,
that's
sorry. Essentially, the story is these two orphans, like their dad dies. I don't think it's their biological dad. I think he was their first adoptive dad. And the one girl is blind, and her older brother, they're not biologically related, but he like looks after her.
Okay.
And he dies, and they end up getting placed with this woman who's like a crazy person. And I don't want to give away too much about it, but there are some scenes that like, I'll say this. There's like a few scenes like the dog scene in
in
Where
that
Evil Lurks.
one movie. Okay.
There were a few scenes where I was like, oh, like I couldn't look or watch it. I had to like look away.
No. Well, thank you for being honest,
So like
Okay.
I wouldn't call it gory, but there's a couple scenes like where I don't want to give them away, but
Okay.
I'll show you the trailer. This is your homework for this weekend with your family.
All right.
I don't think this movie ever even came out in the theaters.
How did you cope with Kathy being gone?
I didn't. This is their new sister and brother, Oliver. Oliver lost his family just like you guys. Needed someone that could give him special care. Listen, I gotta tell you a secret.
Oh my!
It's like a little angel. It's a beautiful angel. It does beautiful things. Listen. 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 Some people believe the spirit stays in the body for months after death. We can bring her back.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's creepy.
That is creepy.
So yeah, it's that doesn't even show like the level of craziness. I don't know if anybody in chat has seen it. There is some occult stuff, but it's not really like. Basically, she tries to bring back her dead daughter who drowned in her pool, and all sorts of insane stuff. Chat says I was a big fan of it. Yeah, you have to like these kind of movies, obviously.
All right. Oh, that's creepy. Okay, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, there's like, this is that kid that played.
My name's Jonah Ren Phillips, and I'm playing Oliver. So I don't have to learn any lines, which makes it easier.
Jonah's
Just
put
look
himself
creepy.
through
Yeah.
what his character goes through, and his character had to experience it once.
Eating bugs.
Oh,
That like, yeah.
That hurt?
No.
You right? You sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
And so his teeth start to chip. So we gave him some false teeth that were made from a dental technician.
How does it feel?
Yeah, so yeah.
oh my goodness, that's so creepy looking.
Yeah, I will give a big recommend. It was probably my favorite horror thriller I've seen this year. This came out this year.
Okay.
The movie's called Bring Her Back. You have to like, creepy.
Oh yeah.
There's some like
I like creepy movies.
There's some shocking stuff in it, but you know, like I said, think of the dog scene, and then there's
Someone in chat said British teeth.
right. Those are his real
That's
teeth.
hate speech.
Yeah,
You guys
that's
get out of here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
his
sorry.
real teeth.
Racism's alive and well in this country, you know?
Yeah. Has anybody in chat? Yeah, it looks like a normal Brit to me.
You guys all take that back.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Chat said it. I'm just reading what chat said. I didn't say it.
I can't believe you're allowing this kind of bigotry in your chat. Man.
Look, we're a free speech beacon here. Yeah, the teeth. Yeah. Oh, there's some. So some people say, yeah, love that movie. I recommended it on Twitter pretty hard. And like, I'll say this: if I recommend a movie, like, it's good. Like, there's been maybe 3 or 4 movies I've recommended. The one was Where Evil Lurks, which I think is a top 10 movie, a top 10 horror movie of all time. All time. I recommended Last Stop in Yuma County, which is not a horror movie.
That's really
excellent, excellent movie. Practical effects, thriller. Would you say it's a thriller or mystery? It's kind of both, I guess.
Yeah, a little both.
And I recommended this movie, and I recommended The Stranger, which again, Hannah Claire didn't like it, but it is. I did say it was as slow of a burn as it gets.
Yeah.
So you have to really be a slow burn like fan to get into that movie.
You got to be able to sit still. That's what I learned.
Sit still, turn subtitles on. But watch Talk to Me and then Bring Her Back. I thought Talk to Me was okay, but it was a little like it felt like it was made for a younger audience. It was a good ride. I watched it for free. You know, it was on like Netflix or something. But this movie was way better than Talk to Me. Talk to Me is where they have like a monkey's paw and they're trying to talk to dead people. And yeah, The Black Phone is one I recommended too. I think that's an incredible movie.
Yeah.
The sequel comes out in 2 weeks. So if you haven't seen The Black Phone, again, if you don't like thrillers or like horror, you're not going to probably like many of my recommendations. Although I do say...
Like on your Friday stream, do you do a like what you should watch this weekend segment? Because
I should.
Different like entertainment outlets, like publications will release a list like that on Fridays. I feel like you would be really good at that.
Yeah, maybe I should. Yeah, Sinister was good. I watched that like 3 times. Or Nefarious, I think I watched a bunch of times. Sinister was good.
Nefarious is good.
Yeah. So I did. My recommendations are usually gore free. Like I will never recommend something that has like insane gore or hardcore like sex in it without I'll tell you if it's in there. I generally think neither adds to a movie.
Yeah.
Like insane gore never really improves a movie. I don't think.
Right.
Like
I agree.
It doesn't make a good movie better.
Right.
And same with sex scenes.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really make a good movie better. And so it's better be an amazing movie where like the boob or whatever, or the extra gore was like kind of like for example, like Where Evil Lurks. That movie's not gory, but there is a pretty gory scene or like a pretty like graphic scene that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a movie like Substance, I really liked Substance. My wife hated it, but that one was also kind of grotesque. And by the way, Demi Moore should have gotten an award for that movie. I thought she was incredible. Acting it. 13 Ghosts, that was also good. I will never forget that one kill scene where somebody gets like cut in half by the security door. But like that movie was pretty good too. I saw that in the theater when I was really young. But anyway, let's get to Hillary Clinton here. I don't want to go off on another horror.
Speaking of horror movies.
Yeah, speaking of graphic violence, the interesting thing here is she's got something to say about Christians.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this. I saved this for you.
Okay.
The idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, a certain religion, a certain point of view, a certain ideology. It's just doing
white Christian men, she say, are
such damage to
it's damaging
what we should be aiming for. And we were on the path toward that.
Go ahead.
That is why America is what it is. That's why America exists. That is where our culture comes from, is white Christian men who founded all of this, and our freedoms.
Because they wrote the Constitution.
Yes.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
so it's like, oh, we can't be like, come on, all of your freedoms and all of your privileges that you have here in this country, and you are taking full advantage of, you have because of these Christian white men.
Isn't it weird that she starts it with a world that never was? So are you saying white men did not start this country and they weren't like, it wasn't a Christian, or are you saying that was where we like, she doesn't make any sense anyways. I also think it's crazy that Democrats are in the middle of a crisis over the fate and destiny of their party. They cannot attract voters, specifically young men. And now she's like, and you know who we hate? Young white Christian men.
Yep.
Remember, they're the problem.
The country's in the middle of a church revival. Church leaders have estimated that church attendance since Charlie Kirk's assassination is up 15% across this country. So what do the Democrats do? Say white Christian men are the problem.
They triple down on terrible stances.
I mean, Democrats in general, and one thing that they keep exposing themselves over and over and over again is what they want to do is destroy. That's just what it is. They want to destroy our culture, and everything that they promote is destruction. Transgender ideology, destruction. Gay stuff, destruction of society. You look at the body positivity, being fat, destruction. Pornography, OnlyFans, destruction. And then in this case, like taking in all of these Muslim immigrants and trying to have all of that destruction. It will destroy culture and civilization. I think a lot of it is just very demonically rooted, and that's what Satan wants to do, is destroy. And so that's exactly what's going on here, and we see what happened. We see what happens when you start to change things. Oh, we don't want the white Christian man in charge. Well, the white Christian man is responsible for Western civilization, and meanwhile you have all of these, oh, let's take in more Muslim immigrants. Well, look at how that's working out in Europe right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching a video yesterday, I think both of these from Italy. There's a video going viral right now of two Jewish guys with the curly cues, and some like Muslim guys whipping him with his belt and like saying like, I'm like, oh, where's this happening? Palestine? Oh, Italy? That's odd. And then there's also so many pickpockets now from these migrants. There's a guy, a vigilante, driving around on a bicycle and spraying them with paint. It's absolutely amazing. Like
that's wild.
This because they're everywhere and they're robbing everybody. So he's just marking these shitbags with marking paint, pickpocket. I think this was Italy. I'm not totally, it might be the UK because I think he speaks English. Yeah, hear this video.
Yeah, do you want to be sprayed? Do you want to be sprayed?
Okay, so this isn't Italy, but it does sound like, oh, it's London. Okay.
So get out! Get out! No stealing today anymore, yeah?
Get wrecked. No more stealing today.
Pickpocket, guys! Pickpocket!
I love it. Like, when the government won't protect its citizens, this is what you get. This is what you get.
I just saw a video yesterday on TikTok of this woman who lives in the UK, and she's like, she's like, you have to decide. She's like, when I first moved here, you know, I could wear jewelry and stuff. She's like, now they've got all these immigrants here. I can't even wear jewelry when I go out because someone might try to kill me. And a Muslim immigrant might try to kill me so they could steal my jewelry. And every time she has friends and family who visit her, she tells them, don't wear any nice jewelry because you're actually at risk when you do that. It's insane what it's turned into over there.
It is. It's crazy. I think one of the biggest issues that that Democrats are in the UK, obviously like a left-leaning pro-immigration party, creates is just that you have to have complete cognitive dissonance. You're not allowed to acknowledge that there's an increase in crime. You're not allowed to acknowledge that there is not cultural assimilation. You're not allowed to acknowledge all of the negative ramifications of especially mass illegal immigration, but generally mass migration. And instead, you have to be like, no, it's good and multiculturalism and we don't mind. I don't mind that I can't walk in certain neighborhoods anymore. The Ed Sheeran did an interview where he was like,
yes.
I mean, it's fine. Like, you know, you can't walk down the street, but like, this is just like part of it. And you want to be like, about?
I can't figure out if he was being secretly based,
right,
or if he was, because he is also a notorious luxury watch collector. He has like multi-million-dollar wristwatches, and like I wonder if how close he is to being like, wait, no, this actually isn't fine.
Right.
And like, but I mean, yeah, I'll take more white Christian men, please, in America.
For sure.
You know, are they really saying like, are we going to bring back like we have to go all the way back to the 80s or 90s when there was like kind of a spat of like radical white Christian men blowing up abortion clinics kind of thing. Like, what is so wrong with white Christian men? And like, this says Hillary Clinton has been rapped as tone deaf as she recently suggested that white men of a certain religion, Christian, were partly to blame for such damage done to the United States. White Christian men are the reason the United States even exists. Like, it's not even, I mean, there are arguments there. It's not even a difficult argument to make that like the Constitution is a Christian document, and it was written when this country was 99% Christians, or maybe 100% Christian, Protestant, right? Protestant Christians,
right? Yeah,
yeah, and like, so why does this twat think that like, she's going to come out and say like, well, white Christian men. I mean, by the way, keep doing it. Keep doing. The midterms are coming. Yeah, keep fucking doing it.
Right. I mean, like I said, the Democrats are going through an identity crisis. They are struggling as a party to pick their direction because, part of the party wants to triple down on progressive values. That doesn't, polling indicates, line up with what the actual regular rank and file voter believes in. Meanwhile, we have Hillary Clinton come out and like smirk at the camera and be like, well, we all know who the problem is, meaning that they're just going to drive young men farther into the arms of Republicans, which I'm fine with. Like, no problem. I'm good. But if you were supposed to be this figurehead, this influential kingmaker in the Democratic Party, right? She's not going to run for office again. She's just going to get paid to do huge interviews and appear every once in a while on talk shows. Why would you gamble with the fate of your party? Like, why are you sticking to this old, tired narrative that's actually just bigoted?
Yeah. It's so wild that we're still getting this narrative in current year. Like, we really are living in the kind of in the you are here, like Trump through 2028, JD Vance through 2036, and like Marco Rubio through 25. I mean, like, I mean, that's what they're looking at. They're looking at losing every presidential election for the next 10 to 12 years if they keep this shit up.
That's the thing is the Democrats have just gone way too far on certain issues that have been utterly destructive to society. The transgender stuff being one of them that ruined everything for them, got backfired hard. And then also all of this immigration stuff. It's gonna just ruin it for
paying
them.
more for your paying $32.99 per pound for your steak is a good thing.
Yes.
Actually,
style racism, institutional racism means that you should pay more. Like some crazy illogical argument. And my prediction totally is that in midterms, if Democrats are successful on, local or state level or even congressional races, it will be because they took a moderate tact. Like every once in a while, you get a super blue city, they'll elect someone who's way more progressive. But I think generally for the majority, they have to lean more moderate to speak to their voters.
Yep.
Especially if you're talking about like flyover counties country.
Yeah.
You that shit is not going to fly anymore. Like, actually, I think it's great that illegal immigrants who can't read are being issued CDLs and running people over on the freeway. Like, that shit plays with. There's a reason the whole Springfield, they're eating the cats or eating the dog stuff was so bananas.
Yeah.
Because like Midwesterners have cats and dogs, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? And like, by the way, Goody says, what's up, Quartercast crew? You guys should check out the Criticless. It's a site for anyone to review movies and TV shows. It was started as an FU to sites like Rotten Tomatoes. The creator Blaine hangs out with the G&G crew. Okay. Well, shout out. Good for him. I don't leave movie reviews. I have a platform. You have to tune into the show to get the best horror thrillers.
That's right.
And you know what I realized the other day? I never even saw John Wick 4. And
I didn't like it.
Well, I'll say this. Agree or disagree. The order of best to worst John Wick films are the order in which they've come out.
Agree.
Okay.
Interesting.
Agree. 1000%.
So,
Yep.
I thought John Wick 3 was so bad that I had no interest in and then so like I never even bothered watching John Wick 4. I just started getting YouTube clips of it. I'm like, I don't remember seeing this in John Wick. I don't remember this like big fat guy that kind of looks like a fat penguin. I'm like, and then like he's doing karate and he's like 400 pounds and he's like fighting with John Wick. I'm like, this guy would be out of gas immediately. How is he fighting with? So I'm like, and then they still have the blind guy in it. I'm like, the blind guy was the dumbest gimmick I've ever seen in the movie.
Like dumb humor in it that just felt so off-brand for John Wick. I was like, what is this right now?
Yeah. So anyway,
I think 4 is too many. Like I get a trilogy, but when you get to like 4, 5, 6, of course, bad.
You shut your whore mouth.
Look, I'm just speaking for the people who think
Rocky 4 is the best Rocky, and it's not even close. We defeat Russia in that movie. We take down the USSR in Rocky 4. All right, Ivan Drago.
I stand by what I said. I disagree.
Yeah, I figured
but
you would.
I've never seen Rocky, so.
I will say there are very few movies that can really survive past 2.
I'm trying to think of a sequel that made it to 4 that I
Come
actually
on.
liked. I don't know of a 4 that I like.
Halloween 4? That was okay. Horror movies kind of get a pass.
We should hold our entertainment too. Come on, Jeremy.
Nah. How about the 4th Star Wars movie? That would have been episode 1. No, that would have been
That would have been, if you're counting the prequel, the prequel trilogy. That's the one where Anakin was a kid and doing all the races and Jar Jar Binks was really annoying.
I think that was that one wasn't very good though.
It's not good. No.
Yeah.
You're saying 4 was not that good?
But it was technically a prequel. It was episode 4 is A New Hope, which is an awesome movie.
Look, we can make excuses for all kinds of things, and you can indulgence watch anything. But as a rule, I don't think we should have 10 plus whatever trilogy stuff. That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, you could say what I said about John Wick about Jurassic Park too, but people just keep paying to see those damn movies.
Yeah.
Like the best Jurassic Park was the first Jurassic Park, and every Jurassic Park after it was worse than the one before. And yeah, I like Chris Pratt and all, but that movie was not good. And like, but people love dinosaurs. And so they go and they keep seeing Jurassic Park.
And there's not another
Fast and
dinosaur
Furious.
film, really. Like,
No, not really. They're kind of the only ones that do it. But Fast and Furious has 11.
It's ridiculous. I don't believe in that at all.
Their last one made like $800 million fucking during COVID. During COVID, it made like $700 million. I mean, that is an unstoppable franchise that has become a meme of it. I don't like the movies, but I acknowledge that lots of people do. I saw the first one. I thought it was cool. But like,
I just saw.
I don't really like mindless action, which is why John Wick has gone down the tank.
That's
Like,
true.
The first movie had a story. Then it just became about action the whole time.
I lost a wager on Pop Culture Crisis one time, and it was supposed to watch all of the Fast and Furious movies, and I made it through, I think, 6, but it was getting difficult to like find them on
How could you
streaming.
tell the difference?
Hey, that's still really good. 6 of them.
Yeah,
It took me forever. But the other part is like, it just got worse. Also because I started getting indignant. I didn't want to watch them anymore. They were all kind of the same.
Yeah.
The Tokyo one has like kind of an incestuous storyline. None of it for me.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a brother love or sister and brother love vibe.
There's something weird.
There's
and
something
no one
going
talks
on
about
there.
it.
Yeah, I picked up on that too. I'm like, those two are boning.
Oh.
Yeah. Ramsey says, I like Rubio well enough, but I want Vance Hegseth next. No, I mean, yes, Vance Hegseth would be boss, but it's got to be a woman. Like, it's got to be like Vance
Jeremy,
Tulsi.
you have to stop with this. It does not have to be a woman.
Stop
giving into the
Tulsi.
PC narrative.
Stop being gay.
Vance RFK Jr. No, that would be bad.
No, we don't need no
Tulsi
women.
would be
No
okay.
women.
All
None.
right,
You got
fine.
both of the women on the panel saying no women.
Look, I would vote for Vance Hegseth, like in a heartbeat. I would love having 12 years of my president calling people dipshit on Twitter. Like, I would love Vance Hegseth. Rubio's been doing great. Maybe if he wanted to run after them.
My favorite internet meme right now is like like Marco Rubio appearing anywhere and being like Marco Rubio realizing Trump's about to ask him to be a Christian praise worship band or like whatever. Like the fact that Trump kept being like, and now Marco Rubio, another responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's because he's killing it. And that's
Trump
it's
funny
him.
for a reason. Also, because he would figure it out. Like that's what an energy you want from people in the government. I would say if Vance is top of the ticket, I don't know exactly who should go under, but I would say you would need someone who maybe has
a little more moderate.
It's not moderate. It's like a different specialty. Like JD Vance knows how to work the Senate. He knows how Congress works. He's got the military background. Like I almost want someone who's got like a very strong economic background or like
economics or world geopolitics.
Balance it out a little bit. I honestly would want to look on the governor level too. I think if you had someone who was like, offers some other expertise.
What about do you think DeSantis would run as a VP?
Probably not. I feel like DeSantis is not ready to be reattached to the Trump administration. He might take a cabinet position, but I think he feels like the next time he runs, it would be top ticket. This is based literally on my own brain and observation. I don't have any sources. Just my speculation.
We're just spitballing here. Lyman says, Rocky IV is good messaging, sure. But come on, the first Rocky is the only masterpiece in the series. I do not think episode 1 was underrated, though. I do think. I'm going to challenge you and tell you that I actually think Balboa was an excellent message. And that was the old Rocky where he has this ungrateful shitbag son. And he teaches his son a lesson. He's a famous line of like, it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit. Like that line is in there. That's really good. Rocky IV, easily the best fight choreography, not even close. Rocky II is hard to. No, Rocky III is also very good because he starts over from nothing, I think. Or no, that's Rocky IV. He's broke. Rocky III, Clubber Lang kills. He kills his best friend. And I think Drago kills his best friend, Apollo Creed, and then he fights. So I'm getting mixed up. The third one was Clubber Lang, I think, which was Mr. T. And Rocky got too high on the hog and he lost his work ethic. I think they all have a pretty good message. But that's just me. In 5, he's broken the Tommy gun one. The Tommy gun one's forgettable. I didn't care for that one. He's broken 4 too. He's got the robot that comes in. He's like, "Happy birthday, Polly! Happy birthday, Polly!" And he brings him like the birthday cake. But that's what the robot says. Happy birthday, Polly.
There's a robot in the boxing movie? I have no idea what we're talking about.
No, but it's because he has all this money, so he's buying all this crazy shit like Ferraris and like he has a robot. These are all spoilers for Hannah Claire, but I know you're never watching.
Buy robots. I buy that. That's believable 100%.
Yeah. The Ramsey says, I like Rubio well enough. Vance Heck says I read that. Okay. Ken Rose, thank you. And Cut Me Mick. Yeah, Cut Me Mick. Yeah, Mick was great. He dies in 2. That was an emotional one.
Are you spoiling stuff for us? No, I'm never.
These movies are 40 years old. I'm not spoiling them. Like that's.
I don't know, man. I was gonna watch it, but now I know. So
the robot thing was huge in the 80s. Yeah, Chad pointed out, like huge. Like I have one of the coolest robots ever created. You want to? It's one of the coolest and most useless. Hold on.
Okay, let's see it. Also, we need an update on those Italian cookies as well.
Yeah,
I just want to look.
When are we getting a Mississippi?
I know. When are we getting a mukbang? Yeah, exactly.
That's actually why I show up to work every day. The lore.
Yes.
It's my favorite. Like, not my favorite. There are a lot of great parts of doing Estrocast with you guys, but what is that like R2D2's whack cousin?
Wow.
It's Rob the Robot.
Yeah,
And they
he's
sold
also
him as
in
a-
Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was you could only use him in 2 games, and both of the games were fucking horrible. Like, yeah, you like move. You use Rod the Robot to move things from one spot to another, and then there's another game where there's a servo on Rob the Robot's hand, and he presses the button. on the controller. That's all he does. Like,
amazing.
But I had all of them. What was the one, fellas? What was the one we all had? If you were a boy born in the 80s, there was like that. He was like what was the popular robot toy in the 80s? I know he's on the cover of my JCPenney catalog. Robot toy 80s. Every boy wanted one. I don't think I ever got one. Robbie. Yeah.
What does he do?
Wow.
Yeah, everyone wanted that thing. I think it was Robbie. This guy right here. This guy. Where was he? Yeah, the Tommy Omnibot was like crazy. This is, very young. But then where's the other one?
Man, 80s sci-fi futuristic stuff is just way cooler than anything we have now.
They had this. They had Hubot the robot,
yeah.
and it would like cook. You could like cook bread and stuff like that. Was it Robbie? What was the one that was popular in the 80s? The 2XL robot. Maybe that was it. I feel like I had a red one and then I had a white one, and I don't remember. I'm trying to look for a picture of him to like jog my memory. I feel like he was like this white robot, but there was one that was on the TV that like everybody, all the kids wanted, but it was a piece of junk.
I always liked those at Radio Shack. They always had those things that would flip the coin and eat it, the robot things.
Yep.
I loved those.
Yeah.
I just remember
you're talking about Tommy Flipbot.
I can't remember what it was called. He would. Oh.
This person collects them.
Okay.
And this hold on.
Hey, they made several versions, and they brought it back in 2000. But this one's
so cute.
Yeah, they were. I can't remember. Teddy Ruxpin. Yeah, my sister had one of those. I think those are for girls. I thought. No, were they not? Were they just? It was like a talking.
I think it was just like a toy. When I was a kid, there was like a robot dog that was really popular.
That would do the backflip.
Yes,
Yeah,
I had that.
with you.
I had that.
You did?
Yeah.
Yes.
My cousins had that, and I was like,
It would wag its tail. Be like, bark, bark, bark.
Like a little squeak, and then it would do a backflip.
It was amazing.
Yeah. I think it was. I think chat's right.
My little brother
I
has
think
more
this is
brains
it.
in his finger.
This is the
all
one.
you put together.
This is the one.
Says 2XL. Food facts.
A peanut is neither a pea nor a nut.
True. Sports.
If a fly ball hits the foul pole,
Home run. Animals.
has it ever rained frogs?
Like
yes.
Yeah, that was the one. It was from Tiger.
Wow.
Yeah, I never had that, but I remember that was like crazy popular with all the kids. Yeah, it was 90s, not 80s. I did have a Talk Boy though. That was always good. And
I had a Talk Boy too.
You know what I used my Talk Boy for?
Have you seen Home Alone where he had the Talk Boy and it was like that little gadget? See, it's right there on the picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was what it was called.
Yep,
Yeah.
I had one of those too.
They even had one for girls. Like the
They
talk,
did, but I
yeah.
had the boy one because that was out first.
Let's forget feminism. You know what I mean?
Well, it was just pink. It was the same.
Right.
But I would use my Talk Boy to I remember this. I would record songs on it from the TV shows that I liked.
Yes, I did that too.
Yeah. And I used to listen to I would record and I would listen to the Highlander theme song by Queen.
Oh.
Like the Here We Are. Whatever, something, I forget what it is. I would listen to that song and just like, and I think it was only mono. I don't know, but that's what I did with it because it really didn't work like it did in the movie. Right,
it did. In the movie, it was way more high tech. Like you could do slow mo effects and all this stuff on it, and you can't.
You can't do any of that. You could slow it down a little bit, but it just wrecked it. Is this the song?
400 years.
No.
Centuries. The only one.
Wait. Yeah, and I had the intro too. I had the intro on the song. Yeah.
I love it.
Queen, man. Duncan. I love that show. I wonder if it holds up. And then they bring it in. It's like, yeah. Man,
Sorry,
TV
why
was
is
so
this not
awesome.
a version of this your intro song? You love it. This inspired you.
It just gets me so jacked to chop off heads. All right, enough reminiscing, but that
Oh,
show,
we
I
wanted-
love that show.
We wanted an update on those Italian cookies, by the way.
We have rights. Where are these Italian cookies?
All right.
We need to
please.
see a mukbang of you eating an Italian cookie.
Let me go see if I can get one.
Okay. I love it.
Mission. I love Astrogas.
Me too.
Can you make Italian cookies? Do you have a signature thing that you bake?
Oh, see, Italian
You don't bake
cookies. I don't
icing 'cause
even
of
really.
keto.
No, I don't really do keto anymore.
Or
But
carnivore,
before I did that, I used to. Whenever I was a teenager, I would bake like something every Sunday for the church potluck thing because
Aw.
we had like this little home church thing, and every Sunday, we would just bring food, and I always did the baking, so I'd make a lot of chocolate cake. I made this one of my specialties was a Jello cake. So you just make a regular white cake, and then you pour Jello in it, and then you pour Jello in it. Then you I make like a cream cheese frosting, but then put it in the fridge overnight. So then it would be a Jello cake. It was great.
So it's like it's a
big
layer of
thing.
like white cake that's baked, and then you put Jello on top of it.
Well, you poke holes in the cake, and then you pour the Jello, so it's actually absorbed in the cake. So the cake is just like this. Oh, there it is, a cookie.
A cookie.
All right.
We need a close up.
Melanie,
Of
I just
the cookie.
Googled Jello poke cake, and
Yes, that's what it was.
I understand now.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it was so
Okay,
good.
what's this cookie review?
All right. Well, let's see here. It's still kind of hot.
Okay.
We don't have the standard letter
Is
C
that
shape.
sprinkles on it?
There are sprinkles on it.
All right.
Christmas colored. Doesn't
Love
have
it.
the standard C shape, but it's just a regular cookie.
Okay.
That's super good.
Oh,
Super good.
So
I can taste the orange zest. Like they zested oranges, put in the frosting.
Love
Very good.
it.
I'm transported to Christmas
what's
in my mouth.
inspiring this Italian baking streak in your wife's hair? Is it like she wants to hang out with her grandma, or like
You know what I think? I think she wants me to take her to Italy for vacation next year.
Oh,
what a genius lady?
How nice.
That's what I think. She's like, enjoy all these delicious baked goods, Jeremy. And I really want to go. I keep telling her, I'm like, it's kind of a shithole. You don't want to go there.
It's like a low-key Italian themed menu until you take her.
Yeah, eventually I'll be like, oh, where can I get these Italian cookies? And she's going to cut me off. And she's going to just be like, show me your Easy Bakes. I don't have the Easy Bake. I had what boys got. You know what the boys got?
What did boys get?
There was a boys version?
Creepy crawlers.
Oh, I remember
yeah.
creepy crawlers.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
Yeah, I have a
Did you guys-
creepy crawler machine.
You guys probably weren't children when this was out, but I remember Crayola released like a make new crayons machine.
Oh,
and
mhm.
it was like,
My sister
yeah, so
had
you put your
that.
broken ones in there. And also the fact that you would just like give young children like super hot metal plates. And it was
Mhm.
good. Like, I
Yeah.
love it.
We lived in a different era. That's how the
Different
creepy crawler thing was like hot, metal molds, and you just put it in there.
Yeah. Same with the Easy Bake Oven. I mean, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like a light bulb. It wasn't that
Yeah.
hot, I guess. But
I think it was
Yeah.
only a light bulb in there too, if I remember correctly.
I remember the crayon one being hot enough to like hurt a little bit if you touched it, but it was still worth it.
Yeah, they were fucking disgusting. I ate so many of them. Boys got erector sets. That was before my time.
I don't know what that is.
Was that those
They're
things,
the metal-
little metal? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those, but yeah, we didn't have those. We had just had Lego.
I had Lincoln Logs and Duplos. My parents didn't buy the name brand Lego. And then like I had Matchbox cars, and then I had like a lot of those cases that you carry your
Oh.
Matchbox cars around in. But those, yeah. Wait, Italy is amazing. Well, maybe I'll take her. I don't know. I got to look at what their immigration policies are. You know.
Yeah, make sure it's not a bunch of Muslims over there right now.
Mhm. Yeah, erector sets were like they were cool because you could like make a crane. I think like you could make like shit that
Yeah.
worked or had there were like pulleys and stuff. But I never had that. I don't know if it was just expensive or maybe I just never wanted it. When I was in the hot toys were I was in Domino Rally. That was easily That was kind of the go-to toy for boys my age. One of the worst ever. One of the worst. Like this is their TV commercial.
Introducing Domino Rally.
Oh, this is for. Okay, I was like, I didn't have anything where they were attached to it. I had to set them all up by hand. But that looks like just that. The rest of them are loose. I had this exact set. Set it up one time, never use it again.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're 2/3 of the way done and then you bump it and all of them fall over. Like that was a bad one. Ken Rowe says, not a popular fact, but I believe it was Christian white men that also played a major role in ending / outlawing slavery. Not just in America, but worldwide. Yeah, that's a fun fact. Unwoke Gamer says the climax of The Sandlot was based around the Erector set. Yes, it was. That's right. It was. When they got the ball out of the backyard. Is that what you're talking about? Crossfire, yep, had that. Also a terrible game because we lost all the ball bearings. So eventually we just couldn't even play it because it was like 4. They're like, okay, pew, pew, pew. And then you take them and load them up. Let's see. Mario Duck Hunt on NES. Yeah. I had that too. I didn't get a Nintendo until I was a couple years old. I got one of those little Italian cookie bally things in my throat, I think. I had this. I wanted to talk about this RFK thing, but I guess Hannah Claire quit.
She's gone. She's like, I'm out. I'm too young for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're cramping her style.
Yeah, I understand. Where is this? Oh, here. So Trump did this deal with Pfizer that looks to be pretty good.
Oh,
and then he cracks like an amazing joke. But he announces this morning.
We're also announcing that moving forward, all new medications introduced by Pfizer to the American market will be sold at the reduced most favored nation cost. So we'll be paying essentially what other countries are paying.
Which is true. We should.
Much lower, much lower for many, many years. Furthermore, Pfizer will invest $70 billion to reshore domestic manufacturing facilities. In other words, they're going to bring
$70 billion in manufacturing brought back to America. That was one thing that we kind of learned about how vulnerable we are with our pharmaceuticals.
Right.
Like during COVID, it was like, oh, we need masks. Who makes the masks? China.
Yeah.
We need, antibacterial stuff. Who makes that? China. We need pharmaceuticals. We're having shortage on insulin. Who makes that? China. And it's like, okay, well, we need to bring some of this shit back. This is a huge win for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I had this other clip from him that I thought was hilarious. Yeah, here it is. This is that's my president moment. RFK sneezes behind him and hilarity ensues.
We'll get it down even further. But insulin was, people weren't taking it, I would imagine. They couldn't take. God bless you, Bobby. I hope I didn't catch COVID just there. Don't you have Paxlovid?
He's got Pfizer there. He's like, quick, give me a Paxlovid.
He's got Paxlovid. Yeah. Give me a Paxlovid immediately.
That's funny. That was cute.
Yeah.
That's one of the best parts of Trump is like he's actually funny. He like can riff in the moment.
Yeah, his timing's great.
It's from Biden, but it's even more of a difference from Obama to me. I feel like Obama was
For sure.
a dramatic pause, teleprompter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So serious. And then the thing about Donald Trump is he is very extroverted. And I think that's a great thing for a leader who is just really charismatic and good with people, from something like this to going to McDonald's that day that he was serving. Like he just thrives in social situations. And I love that.
It's fun.
That was, and I also had this story to wrap up today's stream, a feel-good story.
All right.
So we had some trans radical or LGBTQ radical person driving around with "Make Assassinations Great Again" on their bumper sticker. They're from Massachusetts or Maine, I'm sorry. Exclusive. I've identified the individual with "Make Assassinations Great Again" bumper sticker, posted by TPUSA's Andrew Colvett, is a 32-year-old radical LGBTQ activist named Susanna De Silva of Topsham, Maine. Susanna, who now goes by Ray,
No.
Was born female. Owns a restaurant called the Fishnet Cafe on Bailey Island, Maine, with his wife Ashley. Come on, Nick. Yeah. Oh wait, no, she's a woman, but identifies as a man. Yeah,
Right,
I got it. Yep, got it. He's right. I'm wrong.
It's hard to keep up with these pronouns when they're
I know.
Well, it's just because you have to like correct in real time.
Yes.
So it's like if I'm reading like the Daily Mail, they use preferred pronouns.
Yeah.
Even though they pretend to be right wing or whatever. So I'm like always correcting that. Now, I forwarded this to DHS, who've confirmed to me that they've launched an investigation into DeSilva. Disagree with that. Like, I think that's probably too far. But more hilariously, you know, her Facebook profile contains a lot of leftist rhetoric, becoming increasingly aggressive over the years. You can also see her look more and more like a man. Radical leftist violence is a problem. I agree. Fishnet Cafe suddenly getting a lot of bad reviews. Definitely won't be going back. How is this place still open? Food 3, service 1, atmosphere 1. Disgusting place, disgusting food, disgusting owners.
Ooh.
And more hilariously, where is this? I have the, oh, come on.
Oh,
I have the cherry on top. Well, she forgot to renew her website and someone bought it and forwarded it to TPUSA.
I remember that one.
Yeah. So I forget, like, if I go, like, let's go. Well, let's just go Fishnet Cafe website. Let's see. Website. Let's go to it. Oh, it's not currently available. They linked to their Facebook page, I think, because someone stole it.
Oh.
They had a website. Is it eatfishnet.com? Oh, chat, help me out. Well, anyway, whatever her old website was, now forwards to TPUSA because she was like,
amazing.
Yeah, she was celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination. People figured out who she was. Now, I'm a little uncomfortable reporting her to Department of Homeland Security. Like, I'd rather they kind of work on maybe a little bit more important things than some stupid bumper sticker. But
man, make assassinations great again. That's like an outright call to violence.
Yeah, it's ugly.
It is. It is. Here's another person with that same thing. And then they have a bumper sticker that says, trans people existing does nothing negative to your life, you crybaby bitch. And then safe abortion for all. Again, first of all, I don't understand people that put inflammatory bumper stickers on their vehicles that are worth $50,000.
Right.
I would never do that. First of all, I would never put a bumper sticker on my car, but people that do, I'm not trying to invite some dickwad to key it, or I'm not trying to have somebody turn into a parking lot and follow me to a parking lot and argue with me or worse. Like, it's very weird.
Your inflammatory bumper stickers would invite that because arguably they'd probably be something more conservative, whatever, or patriotic, and a left-wing lunatic would follow you. If you are like abortions for everyone and whatever, like, I just don't think that many people.
Oh, big abortion got her.
They got her.
Yeah, she's been aborted. She was just a clump of cells, Hannah Claire. Big abortion got
censored. What is this?
Big abortion got you. They said you were just a clump of cells. Go on.
They always do that to me, but here I am.
Yeah, right. You cannot abort the HCB. Yeah, I mean, these people know, they put this shit on their cars and they know no one's going to give them shit for it.
Yeah.
It would be funny if more people did. Now, again, I don't want people, going after other people's cars or starting fights over pointless shit.
Right.
That's why these people win, is because they have nothing to do. They have nothing to lose in their life. And so they do shit like this and like, oh no, I get arrested and put in jail for the 87th time. Big deal. I don't have any money and they're going to let me out later today.
Right.
So like, I've always preached, like, please don't. Like, you want to point and laugh and call them a loser, fully support that. But don't escalate beyond that. It's just not worth it.
It's
go ahead.
so sad because it's like, I see these bumper stickers, or like people go into stores like wearing like this bumper sticker but on a t-shirt, and it's like, I know that you want attention. I know that you
want me to say
inside.
something. Yeah.
Right. But like, I don't want to engage with you. It's not worth it to me.
Yeah, 100% not interested. Not interested in whatever it is you're selling. I'm not interested in you being able to go home and post to your trans furry loser friends that you totally triggered somebody. It's just not for me. I do want to give you two one more chance to shout your channels out and let people know where they can find you before we send everyone on over to Viva to see. He's talking with Alexa Lavoie. I don't know. It's probably some Canadian person. But you can say hi to him. So Hannah Claire, why don't you start us off? Where do they find? Where can people find you?
You guys can find my work on Rumble and YouTube. It's Hannah Claire B, all one word, in either of those places. It's also Hannah Claire B on X if you want to follow me there. I'll have a video up today talking about Emma Watson and her concerns about marriage and encouraging people to get married being a form of violence, which I think is
why.
So check that out. It'll be up shortly. And otherwise, I appreciate all the support, and you should go follow wherever Melanie tells you to go follow her.
All right, you guys can find me at Bible Time with Melanie Mack, where I've got Bible verses of the day every day on my shorts, and then I also have Bible-based topics. I just uploaded a video today saying not everyone is a child of God. There's a difference between being made in God's image versus being a child of God. So I talked about that today. And then you guys can also find my gaming streams at Melanie Mack, or if you just search Melanie Mack Gaming Streams, I will be streaming more Silent Hill F tonight.
Nice. I may also be streaming later tonight, although I am taking Mrs. the Quarter into the pumpkin patch. We go to multiple pumpkin patches. So this is just pumpkin patch 1. And we don't buy the pumpkins from this one. We buy the pumpkins from a nice small like farm. We go to this one for all the
date aesthetic one.
This one, no, we get their caramel apples and their homemade apple cider, and their they have like popcorn, and then they have a ton of apples that we get, like Honeycrisp and Granny Smith apples, and we buy those. And they have like homemade salsas. So it's almost like they have a pumpkin farm there, and their pumpkins are fine. But I like to spread it around. So we'll go there and we'll get their stuff.
Apples too. That's what's even more interesting.
The apples are what's up. I'd shout them out, but I don't want you guys to ruin it because it's already getting too damn busy there. That's why I'm going in September, because starting next week, this place is jam packed, open to close, like 1,000 people there, and it's a nightmare. So all right, cool. Well, you guys all have a wonderful night. I'll probably be streaming later tonight too. So after you're done, stopping by Melanie's stream and leaving her $500 super chats like you all do, I see you. And you come to mine, and you come over to mine, and you're like, I have no money left. I gave it all to Melanie. But I'll probably stream later too.
Radioactive shrimp, Jeremy. Come on.
That's true. That's true. You guys all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow at 2 Eastern. We'll be back.